Perfect.
All right, so
Awesome.
here you go, Meredith.
All right. Well, good morning, you all. And yes, as he alluded to, this is the infant stages of one of the next career paths I'm going to be taking in 2020. I'm an entrepreneur, always looking for something different. And I thought, why not focus on something that's going to make a difference to everybody else, and specifically their bottom line. So BL is not the actual name of the company, and that's one of the things I'm going to hope to gather input from all of you on today, is what would be a catchy name for the business that I'm going to be presenting to you. Because there's nothing worse than looking at a name and having it have nothing to do with the actual business it is. We've all seen things like that. Being a Best Western owner before, people clearly knew I owned a hotel, right? So, but there are a lot of businesses out there where there'll be the name and it just doesn't fit. So I'm going to, for sake of the conversation today, just refer to myself as BL, for bottom line consultant. And for this business, it's going to be, my goal will be to help a business drive revenue that'll be viable in any economy. Because as we know, the economy is always slow, right? Fortunately, right now we're in a beautiful economy. We know that most businesses focus on two things. That's driving profit and reducing expenses. Where I'm going to come in is help the businesses reduce their expenses, because the added benefit to that is they're then going to be able to drive profit through doing this. And a huge, huge plus to the businesses is this will cost them no money up front. It's more like a contingency for them. I'm going to come in and demonstrate to them where I'm going to be able to save them money on an assortment of areas, and I'll get specific on some of those here in a few minutes. But if I can't show you that I can save you money and help you drive your profits, you don't owe me any money. So there's no fee. How the process would work is I would come into a business, and it could be an automotive business, it could be a hotel business, it could be restaurant businesses. So we're looking at businesses with a large number of employees, because the more employees, the greater the savings that they're going to appreciate. So what I would do then is come in and just ask a few simple questions, and I'll give you some specifics on that in just a minute, but I wanted to just kind of give you an overall general idea of how this would roll out. So I would come in, ask a few questions within 15 minutes or less. If it takes more than 15 minutes, I'm not doing my job very well. So I'll come in and I'll ask them questions specific to their healthcare, maybe shipping and freight, maybe their accounts payable, just a lot of entities that their foundation of their business is built on. And after obtaining the information from them, I will then match them up with an account director, who will then come in and take that information and present it back to them at a granular level, but on a platform that will show them within minutes, here's what you're doing, here's what we can do for you, here's the cost we can reduce for you, here's the reimbursements we can get for you because you've overpaid in these buckets of running your business. So that's the beauty, is I'm kind of a conduit between the customer and then these account directors, these super experts, if you will, that will come in, and it's that partnership that will make all of this happen. So some of the flagship services that I'm focused on are healthcare, accounts payable, same-day pay, and shipping and freight. That's just a few of the many that are available, but those are the few that are so common amongst most businesses, the majority of organizations, businesses, the clients that I would be speaking with. If you look at, why don't we start with healthcare, because that's one of the most expensive, it's one of the most expensive on the bottom line of a profit and loss sheet, right? It's that in payroll. So with expenses, what we would be able to do is show that we could get you a 15 to 25% savings on the current premiums that you're paying right now. Or even there are some examples like the medical claims that an employer has to pay for their employees. We can save anywhere from 15 to 40% on those claims through a venue that we have that I can't disclose at this minute, but I will give you kind of my little cheat sheet notes on it, but it's called the reference-based pricing. And basically it's a cost containment strategy that will pay the doctors, the labs, everybody that's involved in that, a negotiated fee that's better than what people are having to pay now. So, and the reason we're able to get those discounts is because of the volume. We all know, right? So with the healthcare, again, we've had some entities reduce their costs between 51 and 67%. That's real. Let me go into same-day pay real quick. That's the future of all companies. And it's the advantage is you're going to be able to retain employees. You're going to have employees that are going to want to show up, because what same-day pay is, and as a hotel owner, I wish I had known about this, employees a lot of times want cash advance on their paychecks because they have financial obligations that they need to meet. And what are they doing now? They're overutilizing their credit cards or their banks. They're getting bank fees. What same-day pay will allow an employer to do is if Sally comes in and works Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and she really needs that paycheck and it's not coming for 2 weeks, they'll allow her to pay as much as they want the very next day. You have places like Pizza Hut, Church's Chicken, where right now, if an employee worked Tuesday and Wednesday they need some of the revenue that they worked on Tuesday, these organizations are already paying their employees half of their pay that very next day, so they can go make that financial demand and take care of it and not stress about it. And that retains loyalty with the employees as well. And we know that employee turnover can be an average of $2,500. So same day pay. Accounts payable is another thing where we're doing virtual card payments, setting business up for virtual cards, so you're not having to write the checks. An average check to pay a venue can be like $6. And that's just to print, to stuff, to put the stamp, to address, to get it in the mail. Well, by setting up a company with virtual pay, everything's done electronically. So all of those expenses have gone away. The final one is shipping and freight. We pay exorbitant amount on shipping and freight. We have what they were referring to it as, it's a multi-carrier platform where you can go to this screen and you can look at all the carriers out there, the best rates they have at that day, and then you can decide which one that you want to use. And so you're going to be saving a lot of money, because you're also going to get, for the U.S. Priority Mail, the second best cost out there, second to what Amazon's receiving. So we have a lot of leverage behind us that will bring the savings to all of these organizations. The nice thing too is with the shipping and freight, you're going to get such a reduction that when you go to charge your customer for whatever you're charging, you could actually put a little bit of a markup in there as well. So you're still saving money, you're still saving your customer money, but you're adding in a little bit to your profit line just to make sure you're covered as well. So at the end of the day, that was a very short, quick, fast synopsis of what my consulting business will be able to do for all of you, and it will cost nothing but just your input. It'll take, with our time and our expertise, we'll invest and turn around and show you how we can save you and help you boost your bottom line in 2024. And one final thing is we'll not only be able to show you within 1 year, we'll be able to show you 5 years and forward thinking, and you don't have to change any of your vendors or suppliers at all. So that's what BL Consulting will be in 2020. And boy, that 6 minutes does go by fast. I thought I was going to be done in 4. I seriously did. I thought, wow, we were going to be hearing crickets for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, you're funny. No,
now I know what you all mean.
we would have started it up. We wouldn't leave you hanging for 2 minutes.
Wow. Oh, no.
All right. So this comes to where the rubber gets to meet the road time, right? This is where we get to interact, when I say we collectively, right, in asking questions about BL Consulting.
Right.
Or about anything about Meredith. Whatever you want to know about Meredith, ask. She'll tell you.
And no, I'm not the one that hooked you up with that we were talking about earlier. I didn't give a view up to others. So I will do my best to answer the questions that I can. So
I got the microphone. I saw Dwayne's hand up first. So if you have a question, grab the mic. And 20 minutes, here we go.
All right.
Hello, Mary.
Hi there, good morning.
Hey, my question was regarding your intake process.
Yes.
When working with small businesses or any size businesses as a consultant, typically what happens is businesses hire a consultant to tell them the things that they already know they should be doing.
Right.
And then if you tell them what they should be doing and they don't do them, how do you get paid?
We don't. That's the beauty of it.
In your model, then, because
right.
say 80% of businesses don't do consulting stuff.
Right. But what this model has proven from other colleagues that are already doing it is 80 to 90% of the clients that they meet with find value. They move forward in the process because we have such a plethora, an assortment of things where we can save these businesses money, and it's not a cookie cutter approach. What might be important to one business won't be important to another. And the success rate, as I mentioned, has been 80 to 90%. And that's another thing I mentioned as well, it's risk-free. So if I were to come to you and in that 15-minute dialogue, learn about your business, I would be able to show you, here's some areas you can save money. But if I wasn't able to produce that for you, all we've lost is the time that we met that would not exceed more than 15 minutes.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
My question to you is, well, I might be like two questions in one, but
Okay.
who are your account managers that you're working with? Are these CPAs or who are they to put all your programs or your program together?
They're actual business owners, so they're and I can't disclose the names yet because I'm still in the middle of writing up my agreement to sign on as a consultant. So I'm not intentionally being vague. Just have to, but there's somebody that does it for healthcare. There's somebody that will do it for accounts payable. We have a lot of different vendors that we've contracted with, and it's nationwide. So those are the experts that we would then link the business, the organization, the client up to that would be able to show exactly what the savings is that they would appreciate.
And you mentioned in your presentation that you're going to be you work with all types of industries.
Yes.
Some of these industries that you mentioned have a lot of turnover. So are you proposing the work opportunity tax credit for some of these businesses?
I didn't mention that, but there are some tax credit opportunities as well.
Okay.
There's even things where people don't realize that there's like some other litigation things that like class action lawsuits that have occurred out there. I mean, we've all heard that and seen that and been solicited to participate in it. And a lot of companies don't have time to research it or the tools to really pursue it to see, am I going to be able to get any money back for whatever that situation is? We have experts specifically that will look into that for the customers as well. Like an automotive one would probably be a good industry that would no doubt be able to get money. And exactly.
A lot of turnover. So.
Yeah, and I'm very passionate, especially about the hotel business, because that's one of the areas that I just I had a business in for 4 or 5 years, and I wish I had known about a lot of these services 4 or 5 years ago.
Right. Let's talk after.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. Was my time up? All right.
It sounds like you have an infrastructure, kind of a behind-the-scenes infrastructure.
Yes.
When it comes to your part of the load that you
Right.
have to carry, where do you feel like your gaps are? Like personnel-wise, tech-wise?
Right.
Like where do you feel like that exists?
My whole gap right now is actually that almost everything, because I am just starting. I'm just learning about this opportunity and the difference I can make based on these tools and maximizing the savings to the customers. So I'm literally at the infant stages of doing my DBA, getting educated on all the detail, and then getting in front of those customers and moving it forward.
Are you responsible for your own branding and everything?
Yes,
all
yes,
on you?
I will be. And so like I said, right now I came in as, bottom line consultant, but I don't think bottom line is the name that's going to be catchy, because people aren't, bottom line could mean good and bad, depending on who's interpreting what BL means, right? So I'm actually just now working on trying to figure out what's that catchy name. Well, people will want to, it will be a magnet that will draw them in, and they'll want to know more just from the name alone. So.
What's your background?
My background, goodness gracious. So I'm local from California. Grew up in the high desert Ridgecrest. Thought I died and gone to heaven when I went to college in San Luis Obispo, because then I saw an ocean for the first time and rolling green hills, and graduated at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Did dietetics and food administration. Spent a year at USC and did an internship. Became a registered dietitian. Worked at the Episcopal Home of Alhambra in Alhambra. Also did consulting on the side. Quickly realized, oh my goodness, as much as I love this, I don't like it because I'm not making a difference for people. Telling a 60, 70-year-old to lose weight, to lose the salt shaker, to stop drinking was not happening, right? Not on the time that I was doing consulting. And now there's so many other different venues you can go with nutrition, but that's today. It wasn't back in when I graduated. So I was very fortunate to get an opportunity to move into the pharmaceutical industry. And in the pharmaceutical industry, I carried the bag, moved up into management, did business analytics, did marketing, did training, pretty much everything except for VP and the upper echelon roles. But I did that for over 23 years and retired from that industry. My husband at the time, always had the entrepreneurial spirit, searching right and left for things to do, and ended up buying a hotel in Portland, Texas, the Best Western Plus North Shore Inn. Pretty awesome experience. Unfortunately, the business partnership and the marriage dissolved, but I learned a great deal out of the process. So now I find myself reinventing myself and looking at what the next opportunities are, and this is just one of the many that I'm going to be doing. I hope to be moving probably to Colorado in about a year as well. And one thing I like about this business that I'm going to be pursuing, or this opportunity, is I can take it anywhere with me. And when I get there, I have other business ventures that I'm looking to line up, like laundromats that we've talked about. So that's Meredith. Oh, yeah, no children. Wasn't blessed with children. 2 brothers, a sister, small family, but a close family. And like I said, a California native, but I'm looking forward to moving to Colorado. I don't want to be limited to 55 gallons of water. That was, we've all heard that, right? Anyway. There you go.
Anyone?
Hello, Meredith.
Hi.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
One question I was interested in when I was listening to your presentation was owning a small business.
Yes.
One of my biggest challenges are accounts receivables.
Yes.
You guys supply a solution for that.
Yes, we do. And that's where that's the virtual card payment system, where we're moving away from, again, writing the check, how we pay now, to everything being done through the virtual process. It's like a virtual credit card where you get to keep your suppliers, your vendors. We just set up the system so the payments are fluid without having to do it manually. So something I really would have needed and didn't realize there was a solution for it when I had my hotel. Writing those checks seemed like that's all I was ever doing. So very time consuming.
All right, so how was it that you came into this particular opportunity?
So I've been trying to find the next great things for Meredith Oliver, and I was talking to a lot of franchise opportunities. And one gentleman actually approached me about selling a variety of different franchises. And I thought, yes, but I'm not getting the warm fuzzy from it. And he said, well, what about more on a consulting basis? And I thought, that's me. I like to be able to go in and help and have real legitimate solutions for people that they can appreciate immediately. It's not the pie in the sky thing. And this opportunity was going to enable me to do that quicker than trying to sell franchise businesses. So it was through talking with this gentleman, and I was looking at a lot of other different venues too. A big one right now is in-home care. You know, keeping our loved ones out of medical facilities, right, and being able to do it at home. I even looked at men's barbershop. It was a pretty cool one. It was called Diesel, right? And I thought, how cool would that be for these guys to come in and, you know, you're working on your phone, you're playing games, you're getting your hair done, you're getting nice massages, and it's just that rock and roll, awesome setting for gentlemen. But I thought, you know what, I don't ever want to own a business that I myself physically can't step in and run. When I ran my hotel, there wasn't anything about that hotel, from the maintenance to the housekeeping to the receptionist, that I didn't do. Even if it meant being down in the breakfast area doing the breakfast at 5 in the morning because my employee didn't show up. I don't believe anybody would want me to step in and do a Three Stooges bowl cut on them. So that is why the barbershop venture was one that I backed out on. So it was just through, you know, just thinking what's the next best thing to me and researching everything at a granular level. And you know your gut feeling, never ignore it, right? And so this is where I'm at right now, and so far this is feeling pretty good.
Very cool.
Do you have any leads opinions on the branding that you want to do? Or you were talking about a name, a logo. Do you have any ideas? Or?
You know, I was just shooting names around last night. I mean, profit maker, money maker, bottom line booster. Gosh, there was just an assortment, but none of them kept me up at night. Like, I want that name that's going to have me so excited I can't sleep, because I want to get the cards printed and get it out there. So, and honestly, yesterday was when I just really started to finalize that this is exactly what I want to do. So now I've got to really create that name and get rolling. So no. So any ideas? I would love. Yes. I mean, is there anything that comes to mind for any of you based on just what you've heard this morning that would be catchy with the business perspectives?
Cuts for profit.
Pardon?
Cuts for profit.
Cuts for profit? Ooh, I like that.
I like it.
I do like that. Right?
Run into this is hard. Yeah, that's what I am. Yeah.
Right?
Cuts for profit. I like just something along those lines. Like, it's very, you know what you're doing.
Right? I like that. I'm going to write that down.
Anyone else?
Right?
So I've had to brainstorm with my husband on multiple occasions to come up with names, and one thing that we do all the time is put it in the notes app on our phones.
Okay, yeah,
Instead
right.
of just writing it down on a piece of paper.
Right.
You obsessively look back over that. And
Ex-
look back.
Well, exactly, and it's funny because I texted myself yesterday as I was driving around Santa Clarita. I kid you not. With a bunch of different.
Each other, back and forth. We have like a shared note, and we just add notes to it.
That's
Come
perfect.
up with like the name that we would have.
That's perfect. So can I give you all my number? You think I'm kidding?
We checked in on the app. We share information with you about names on the app.
Right.
1 Million Cups app.
I would love that. Yeah.
Anybody else?
Anyone else?
Yeah, boost your dollar, profit booster. Yeah, so those were some of the names I was just bouncing off yesterday as well. So,
Again, question.
yes.
So you mentioned that you're gonna, some of the biggest costs for employers is health insurance.
Health insurance and payroll.
Can you elaborate more on health insurance? What are you gonna do to help that employer lower their costs?
So the health insurance, well, first of all, we have to ascertain, do you offer health care insurance to your employees? If you do, how many employees does that entail? Because obviously the more employees, the more savings you'll appreciate. And then I kind of alluded to this program that I'm learning about. Like I said, I'm still in my infant stages, but the way they go about, or that I'll be able to go about doing this through the vendor was, sorry, let me get my notes for you. It was, which one did I have it under? It was the reference-based pricing platform that we have, because you have a lot of self-insured employees. They're responding by using this, because what we're able to do is go in and negotiate those better prices, almost like back in the days, again, aging myself here, but when things were more fee-based, so you had more negotiation power to go in. So we have this platform where this vendor who goes in to the physicians, the labs, every entity that's involved in that, and they're able to negotiate better pricing. So we're able to show that those monthly claims have been reduced anywhere from 5 to 40%, but there's some real life examples where people had their expenses reduced by 51% that monthly medical claim. It's like a buying group, that kind of power. It's stuff like in the pharmaceutical industry. Does that help? Does that kind of clarify? Or
And hopefully we can chat after. And give
Excellent.
some ideas
good.
how I can help you as well.
Oh, great. Thank you.
That was actually parlaying into my question.
Love that.
So is this business model restricted to specific vendors? So are you open, like, say this vendor that they recommend, oh, they do a great job saving, but then somebody else, like an Oscar, comes up to you and says, actually, they save on this, but I could actually offer some assistance in this area. Are you open to being able to work with whatever vendor you want to save these people money?
Absolutely. I believe that's definitely a real possibility. Another avenue along those lines as well is I'm able to have sub-agents come in and go out and reach out to their whole arena of customers and bring them into the fold as well. So sky's really the limit, which is exciting.
I know that sometimes with these opportunities, this is the path.
Yeah, it's my way or the highway. Exactly, exactly. No, this organization that I'm lining myself with is always looking for the next best thing, because we have to keep evolving to stay fresh and to stay relevant. Yeah, great questions. Appreciate it.
But we're coming down to the end of our time anyway. So, Mir, here you go.
Yes.
Kind of a loaded question for you.
Right?
Is that how can we as a community help you?
Right? Well, I think you've already done a fantastic job this morning just by allowing myself to be here, to present where I'm going, and to already give me this great rich dialogue of where your mind landed based on what I presented and sharing these ideas here. And honestly, the biggest thing right now that I would love is for somebody to help me come up with a name, and I love where you started. And then to allow me to come back and present again when I have more traction beneath me with this opportunity.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome. All right.
all right.
Meredith.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
All right.